Welcome to the Vanilla to Vixen podcast. This show contains adult content, so if you are under 18 or easily offended, please switch off now. Mr. and Mrs. N are not qualified relationship counsellors. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Now the disclaimer is out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy our journey from Vanilla to Vixen.
Welcome to episode 107 of Vanilla to Vixen. We are your hosts, Mr. and Mrs. N, and we're also known as...
The Naughty Couple.
Well, hello, Mrs. N.
Hello, Mr. N.
We've just about recovered from the mountainous party.
It was the party of all parties.
It was the Everest, if it was a mountain of a party. I can only apologise if you were passing through Leicestershire on the A5 last Saturday evening. It resembled sort of Heathrow car park on a bank holiday. Oh my goodness.
It was a little bit busy.
It was. There were people stranded there for about 5 or 6 hours. There's a chap at the end of the queue. He got a beard and he was clean shaven when he started. It was utter madness.
It was madness.
And I don't know whose fault it was.
Oh, no, can't think.
I've taken a lot of stick this week, and I can assure anyone who wants to attend V2V, the parties are not normally that full.
They're not. However, I have to say, it was so good having so many people turn up.
We planned it because it was an indoor party and an outdoor party.
Yes.
And I met a lovely lady there, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, yeah. And she said, I thought you said you had at least a foot down below. At least a foot. I said, no, I've got athlete's foot. I'm not really. I told her I needed to use both hands, you know, when I go for a wee. I said, mind you, I do wee on 8 fingers. There you go.
No, stop it. Stop it now.
I don't want to brag, but I've got that Welsh town, you know, that big long Welsh town tattooed on my willy.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, what, rill? That's it now. That's enough of the willy jokes.
Love it.
Back to the party.
Oh, bless. It was phenomenal.
Epic. It was epic, wasn't it?
It was.
It was epic. It was wonderful.
It was. We were so lucky with the weather. You had a bit of a meltdown on Saturday morning, didn't you?
We knew. So the guest list. This is how it went. The guest list was literally at capacity.
Yes.
When we before we'd even hit the end of the week.
Yeah.
And we looked at the weatherman, your little weatherman that lives in your phone.
He does. He's very good. He's not let me down yet.
He was pretty accurate.
He was.
I'll grant him that on Saturday. He was pretty accurate. And when you're planning parties, it's easier to plan for a couples and single ladies only party, like on a Saturday night at Liberty Elite, because you've not got to organise the dynamics quite so much as you do on a Friday night party. Yeah. So when you're organising a Friday night, you've got single guys, single ladies, and obviously just the nature of the beast, you get a lot more single guys apply for your party than you do single ladies.
Yeah.
And in order to make it a good party, we try and match those figures up.
We do.
But when it's kind of just couples and single ladies, it's kind of just, come on down. People send me fab profiles and go, can we come to the party? And I go, oh, nice tits. Yeah, you could come. Not really. We don't really do it like that.
No, you don't.
So what happens is we kind of hit capacity the week before, really. And we looked at weather forecast and went, well, it's going to be outdoors and indoors, so we can kind of have a few more.
Yeah, you see, you have to balance it up, don't you, when you're doing an outside and indoor, because you want the atmosphere to be everywhere. And
you sometimes do get no shows.
Yes.
So obviously the no shows, you know, I was really accommodating, and believe it or not, dear listener, no shows for a club party, you can sometimes get as little as 60% of your guest list.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, as a host, it's a very difficult job to try and plan out your ages, because you want, for us, we're a multi-party with people in different age ranges.
Yeah.
We have people in their 50s, even 60s.
Yeah.
And we have people in their late 20s. Mm-hmm. And so we always try and get a good range of couples in all age ranges.
Yeah.
Majority being kind of late 20s to late 40s, I suppose, really. Majority.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was epic, and I got carried away.
What, you never?
I got a little bit excited. And then we had to go off to the wholesalers, and I bought 4,000 more ice poles.
Can I just mention, when we put the ice poles in the freezer at Libs, we noticed that there was still a tub of ice cream from last year's party.
Yeah, we found that. So Chardonnay at Liberty Elite has the biggest freezer in the world that she threatened to put me in when she saw the car park. We won't go into that.
No.
But let's just say that the queue was staking around the car. But do you remember that game you used to play on your Nokia 3310 Snake?
Oh, right.
And you remember when you got really, really good at it and the stake was like all over the screen?
Yeah.
That was the car park of Liberty Elite. This stake going up and down and up and down and up and down. And I was like, oh, shit.
I did spend most of the evening apologising to all the staff and the helpers, saying, I'm so sorry.
And it was really weird weather, because the weather at the front of the club, people were a bit cold.
It was a little bit nippy.
It was, and everybody was in beachwear.
Bless them.
So we come in beachwear.
They were all right by the time that we'd greeted them, because they got a big hug from Mrs. N, which warmed them up.
But I was worried, because obviously it takes time. Everybody has to be properly processed. By law, we have to, see everybody's identification if they've never been to the club. And it takes time to process and get everybody in the club. So it was a bit of a party outside in the car park.
Yeah.
But yeah, 9:30, we were like, okay, there's no more lockers. So I said we had Hayden and Megan.
We did.
Who were guests on the show.
Yes.
And Hayden and Megan, so we sent Megan out into the car park, bless her, with an ice bucket full of
ice pops
to give to people.
Now, there was a bit of a discussion about what people call them.
Yes.
Because it was ice pops, it was ice poles, it was tippy... What was it? Tippy
tops or something.
Tippy tops, that was it. And I think it depended on what age range you were. Tippy tops.
I think it was Megan and Hayden who were going on about tippy tops. I'll be honest, for the first hour, I hadn't got a clue what they were talking about. I thought they were talking about shoes or something.
We dragged poor old Mr. and Mrs. Horney in. They were taking the tops off the tippy tops for us.
They were topping the tippy tops. Or lopping the tippy tops. And it was just absolutely amazing. Mr. and Mrs. Foxy, the Bellas, Naughty Little Secret,
the Rascals, who we haven't seen since last year.
It was just absolutely awesome. A huge thank you to our crew, though.
Yeah, massive thank you.
The names that we mentioned, and because without them, the parties would not exist. And I always feel so humble, because people come up to us and go, "Oh, Mr. and Mrs. N, the parties would be nothing without you." But honestly, it's such a team effort.
It is. We always say this, don't we? It's not just about us, it's about everybody that helps. And the
staff at Liberty Elite were just absolutely incredible.
They were.
And Chardonnay, she was just a blur. We need to see Chardonnay. I'm trying to avoid Chardonnay. She's still gunning me down.
She is. I mean, bearing in mind, so we had 2 bars, didn't we? We had a bar inside, and then we had a cocktail bar outside.
Yes, yeah.
The bar staff were dressed up as
Lifeguards.
like
They were like Baywatch.
Baywatch babes.
Baywatch babes.
They looked amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was some great names for the new cocktails that Chardonnay had created.
There was the wet MILF.
The wet milk. There was the little pecker.
The little pecker. So I was going up to all the ladies going, would you like a wet MILF or a little pecker? And they were going, oh, it's a bit early for that, Mr. N. No, just offering you a drink.
We decorated the club inside and out.
Yeah.
Even the naughty tree got decorated.
Yeah, the naughty tree. And it also as well at the end of the night, which we'll come to that in a bit, somebody had left their thong in the tree.
Had they? Had they?
There was a thong in the tree. At the
Okay.
I don't know whose it belonged to.
Right.
And I don't know how it got there.
But what was amazing, and this is what I absolutely loved about it, once we got everybody in finally, there was people not only dancing outside, they were also dancing inside.
Yeah, so we'd gone down early and we had DJ Rowley, who is just phenomenal.
He is.
And he did a little bit of reggae. You probably missed it earlier on. I did advertise it as reggae, but he did a little bit of reggae, and he kind of went into the dance music because the dance music was just so popular.
Yeah.
It was like Ibiza out there.
Yeah.
And obviously he's a great DJ and he reads the audience, and it was the dance music that was just getting everyone jumping up and down.
Yeah, exactly.
And he took the smoke machine outside. So Liberty Elite has quite a large smoke machine. And I saw him take it outside and I'm like, what are you doing with that? Are you going to smoke the whole world? Because normally a smoke machine has to work if it's in the confines of a room.
Yes.
But no, he smoked the whole garden up. It looked like a 1986 Ford Sierra had kind of blitzed across the garden.
Oh, it was brilliant. And then obviously the highlight of the evening was your volleyball.
Well, I think you're being very kind.
I might have had a hint of sarcasm when I said that.
It was
How many
used.
people used the volleyball net?
No, it was used. It was well used. But the ball was a little light.
Yes, we did have comments, shall we say.
Yeah, which was Chardonnay's... I had to make some compromises, and Chardonnay's like, you are not using a hard ball. If you come in and you come into the party, you're bringing soft balls with you. So we had to have like this ball testing thing.
Yeah.
For the the hardness of the balls.
Yeah, they were a bit squidgy.
They're a bit spongy.
Yeah.
And people did try, and they were playing.
Were they? I must have missed that bit.
No, they were playing volleyball. It was good. So on one lawn, because there's almost kind of like 2 lawns at Liberty Elite. On one lawn we had a volleyball court set up and the cocktail bar. Yeah. And on the other side we just got it just resembled like Woodstock. It's just mad. And they've got all these couples. Some have bought blankets. Yeah,
it was brilliant.
And it was just absolutely insane.
I didn't even get the buffet.
Yeah, the buffet came and went.
It did.
It was like Halley's Comet. It showed its face. It kind of whizzed by as Chardonnay and all the team brought it out, and it just disappeared for 7 years.
Yeah, I literally got 2 sticks of celery. That was it. That was all that was left by the time I got a chance to go to it.
Yeah, it did go really, really quickly.
It did go really, really quickly. But I have one of the funniest memories I have of Saturday night is how many ice poles you and Megan had eaten between you.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I was off my tits by about 9:45.
I was like, you're not having any more. Every time I turned around, you got another one. It's stop eating them.
Artificial colourings do things to me. I do suffer with migraines, and artificial colourings are terrible for migraines. So I do have to watch out. So I was like, well, the strawberry ones, they're not too like red. they're quite almost pink in colour. They're quite. So I'm like, I'll be all right with the strawberry ones. I'm like, oh, these are nice. He's like, well, I'll have one.
So it's like every time I turn around, you were eating one. Megan, bless her, she must have had at least half a box that night.
Megan took one of the ice buckets. We had a great idea, put all the ice pops in the ice buckets.
Yeah.
And I just saw her like holding it against her breasts with this grin on her face going... Have you seen that meme with a kid that eats the if you Google now, there's a kid that eats like candy floss. I think she's like an American kid at a baseball game.
Right.
And her eyes go like saucers and she's going... That was Megan.
I think somebody might have put that picture on Discord the day after everybody was talking about how everybody was off their tits on ice pops.
It worked. Everybody was like high energy till 2 a.m.
Yeah, and then, oh, bless, poor old Hayden, every time he came back from a tour, he stopped to have a drink and tried to have an ice pop, and I turned around and went, Hayden, can you do me another tour, please? He was like a revolving door, bless him. He just kept walking round in circles. It was just crazy.
Mr. Bella hasn't got any legs left.
I know, bless him.
He's just got little stumps.
Mrs. Bella was wearing heels. I don't know how she did all the tours in heels. I really don't know.
They were killer heels. And
I know.
And she was out on the lawn as well, and I'm like, in those killer heels.
I know. I don't know how I'd got my little flip-flops on. I was going to be comfortable.
I'd rather not talk about shoes. I made a schoolboy error at the party. I did make a schoolboy error. I decided to wear like beach shoes. They're like almost like diving shoes. They felt like flippers. They did feel like flippers because I got a size 12 feet and there was just no support in them.
No.
And so you think, well, all right, walking around almost barefoot, it's okay. But because there was no support, by about 10 o'clock, my feet were they were killing me.
I think we were all a little bit, couldn't really walk. And I think it wasn't until, it's got to have been about midnight, maybe even later than that, there was a group of us that actually sat upstairs on the landing I was going to come to that. Yeah, because there was no rooms free.
There was absolutely no rooms free. Obviously, normally at Liberty Elite, you could go outside and have a look. There's a nice quiet space. You can sit down. We got DJ out. We've got 2 DJs outside.
Yeah, they were brilliant.
We'd gone in early in the afternoon and I'd wired up so that the sound of the DJs was pumping right across the lawn, obviously because they were outside doing their outdoor thing like Ibiza, but the sound was actually being pumped into the club as well.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. So they were DJing in and outside the club all at the same time. And consequently, there was absolutely nowhere to go, to be quiet. But we found a place. So there was about 6 of us, naughty little secret.
Yeah.
Who else was there? Megan and Hayden. And we just
and you.
We managed to find the landing
upstairs.
So we
just sat down.
Sat on the floor. All the playrooms obviously were all locked and shut. They were packed. And we just sat there going, this is nice.
Yeah, we just to be able to put my feet up for 5 minutes was just bliss.
It was crazy. And then one of the doors mysteriously opened. It was the double room.
It was the double room.
Where you get 2 couples on 2 double beds. And chap came out wearing a towel, big smile on his face. Then a lady came out.
Yeah.
Then another chap came out.
Yeah.
He was grinning, big smile on his face. They'd been up to naughties. And then it didn't stop. It just kept coming.
So many people were in that room.
It was like that old joke, how many elephants can you fit? Not that there were elephants, I hasten to add. But it was like, how many elephants can you fit in a mini?
Yeah. They just kept coming out, didn't they?
It looked like the Benny Hill show. You have to all our young listeners have to Google Benny Hill. Hundreds and hundreds of people just came out of this playroom. It was insane.
It was insane, but it was absolutely brilliant. I can't thank everybody enough. Everybody that attended, everybody that helped out.
Yeah.
It was just one of the best events that we've ever done.
It was officially the biggest party that's ever taken place at Liberty Elite in the whole history of the club.
Yeah.
It was absolutely huge. And no fear, we will not be doing another one that big until next year. But to celebrate the summer and just have nice weather.
Yeah.
I just think it was lovely.
Yeah.
So it was fabulous. And I was worried a little bit because obviously our parties are predominantly for new couples that have never been to clubs before. And so to suddenly go to something like that can be intimidating.
Yeah.
But I think everyone was in just such a great mood and, you know, just such a party mood.
Yeah, I mean, we've said this before. I mean, we always, and so do the people in our crew, we keep an eye on everybody. We always make sure that everybody's okay, they're having a good time. So we don't switch off really at all. Even if, you know, we're in the back playroom, we always check everybody's okay and they're all getting on all right. We couldn't even get in the flipping hot tub.
Yeah, I'm going to say, checking on people was challenging.
It was.
I was like, are they all right, Mr. Foxy? Which one?
But I have to say, though, I didn't see anything that was a slight concern or a worry. Everybody just seemed so happy. And
we did run out of lockers literally about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Apologies to the people that didn't get a locker that
night.
night.
Obviously, you know, when we're not going to sugarcoat things, we never do. It's not so good when you don't have a locker. And what we do, so people had bags that we had to... they could put with a ticket behind the bar so that they could keep everything's 100% safe and they could keep it behind the bar. That's not ideal, but at such a large party, it's just impossible to have 20,000 lockers.
20,000.
So we did have to compromise and we did have to do some of that, and there was a lot of bags behind the bar, and like I say, that's not your average V2V
that's
party.
the first time that's happened.
Second time.
Is it what, one of our parties?
Mosh Pit, January 2020. Or was it? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember what year it was. It was January, Mosh Pit. But yeah, I mean, in fairness, this party made the Mosh Pit look like empty Wembley.
Yeah, it did. It did. But I think, although, yes, okay, we ran out of lockers and people had to put their belongings and things in the bags, but they were secure. If it hadn't have been for us having that many people there, I don't think we would have had the same atmosphere. It
was okay because obviously the lawn at Liberty Elite is completely shut off.
Yes.
Everybody had bought blankets. So the lawn just became this mass playroom. And the playroom, I did go and look behind the doors a couple of times. I was just like, you're not even getting anywhere near there. The party worked because it was indoor-outdoor party.
It did.
There's no way we would have had that many had it not been indoor and outdoor.
No. The most challenging thing for us that evening was having to take down all the decorations at 2:30 in the morning.
Oh, my God. And there was still somebody having sex on the lawn.
It was the funniest thing because obviously there was no lights out there then. So we were complete darkness, you and I.
Yeah.
Both at other ends of the garden.
Yeah.
Trying to take all the decorations off the trees, and all we could hear was somebody having sex.
And we did have staff who, bless her, she went out with her phone, switched the torch on the phone, saw them, kind of lit them up. Like prisoners, German, like British prisoners and German.
The Great Escape.
It was the Great Escape, lit them up. They just were just totally oblivious to it.
They sounded like they were having a good time.
Yeah, I'm obviously curious because they were guests staying at the hotel part of Liberty Elite, but they were enjoying the lawn.
Yeah, but you see, there's something naughty about having sex in the great outdoors.
So she lit them up. I went, ooh, and turned the light off immediately, and we proceeded to try and clean up in the pitch black.
We did. It was hilarious. Hasten to add, we did miss a few bits and pieces, which were clearly shown the next morning. So
yeah, a few bits and pieces. It looked like a Rage Against the Machine concert had been.
It was absolutely epic, and thanks so much to everybody that attended.
It was awesome.
You really, really helped make... Well, I think we made history with it, didn't we?
It was absolutely... I don't think there will ever be another party like it. We're never, ever going to try and replicate it.
No.
Until next year. But like I say, for a summer party and for something special and different, I think we just captured what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And
couldn't have asked for anything more, really.
I think my Spanish music in the playroom was an absolute hit.
That was so cheesy.
No, it was good. It's a bit of Spanish guitar to get everybody in the sexy mood. I want people to feel like they're on holiday.
Yeah, okay.
It was good.
Chardonnay had put on a little bit of Lionel Richie. I'm thinking, this is nice, quite relaxed, moody kind of thing. And you went and changed it to some...
It was holiday. It's meant to be the beach party, you know. I don't know if it was Skegness or Benidorm. I'm not sure. But yeah, it was good.
So it was, awesome. Absolutely brilliant. But we need to talk about what's coming up this week.
Yes, I'm DJing this week.
You are.
So tomorrow, which is Saturday the 17th of August.
Yes.
If you're listening to this the day it comes out. If it's too late, you missed it. I'm DJing and we're doing Chardonnay's Raunchy Ranch party.
We are.
Which is just going to be awesome.
My outfit's so much better than yours.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
We've been through this many times. I do look like a cowboy.
You do?
So I've got fancy dress is totally optional, so don't worry if you've not got any fancy dress. There will be many couples there not in fancy dress. There will be some like me in nothing but their chaps. and my cowboy hat. And I'm DJing, so it's a guest spot DJ.
Yeah.
So that's going to be good fun. And we're doing country music.
It is.
So I'm doing my yeehaw cowboy DJ set.
Yeah. You can bop away to Cotton Eye Joe.
Boot Scoobing Baby.
Yeah.
Can't sing it.
No.
Get a strike off Spotify. But yeah, so we're DJing and it's going to be a really good party this weekend. One other event, obviously, that we do want to mention,
yes,
is Saturday the 14th of September.
So excited.
So if you missed V2V,
yeah,
and you really do want to know what it's all about, obviously we're doing a summer of V2V events.
Yes.
Which is it's never ever going to happen again.
Nope.
So normally we do V2V and then it's a month off. We do Vegas Vixens and then we do another V2V. So there's only ever 6 in the year.
Yeah.
This year we're doing a few more parties, just a few more. And so September the 14th, do not miss it. It is the Vanilla to Vixen Sweet Treats Party. Sex and cake.
I mean, what more do you want?
And it's to celebrate National Cream-Filled Donut Day.
Yeah, you can Google it. It is an actual day.
National Cream-Filled Donut Day. We'll get a couple of donuts. Just 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
And we're going to have all sorts of sweet treats there.
Yeah. Cake
and sex. If you had to choose just one, cake or sex, Mrs. N.
Oh. Depends who I'm having the sex with.
Sex with cakes. Sploshing. It's not a splashing party. It's not a splashing party. But yeah, so we've got sweet treats there. It's just going to be great fun. And once again, it's like when Meatloaf did that Back Into Hell album. It's like back into the madness of V2V.
The thing is, I have such a sweet tooth. This is just like heaven for me.
It's going to be good fun. And then once again, everybody's going to be high on that sugar rush.
It will be.
So it's going to be absolutely insane.
It's going to be awesome.
It's like fill the ladies up with e-numbers and then just let them all go.
So I have heard a little rumour that one of our crew members is actually going to be dressing up as a sweet. She's going full on and she's going to dress. I'm not going to even tell you who it is. I know who it is. She knows who I'm talking about. But yeah, she's going to go full on dressing up as some sort of sweet thing.
Licorice all sort.
Well, who knows?
Fruit pastel.
Yeah.
The mind now is just boggling. Yeah. It's going to be insane.
So, I mean, there isn't any particular dress code apart from the normal Libs dress code.
That's right. If you want to wear perhaps sparkle on your face to represent a sprinkle.
Yes.
We could do this. Let's do this.
All right, then.
So if you want to wear anything on your face, like makeup-wise, to kind of make it look like sprinkles.
Yeah. Or you could, maybe the men could dress up in shiny, glittery jackets to look like sweets.
I'm going to Google now.
So, like Quality Street kind of...
What does Bertie Bassett... Does Bertie Bassett wear a top hat?
He does wear a top hat, yeah.
From Licorice All Sorts?
Yeah.
I'm going to get myself a top hat.
Are you going to be Bertie Bassett?
I'm going to be Bertie... Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
That would work.
It would.
It's up to you. If you want to get dressed up for the sweet treats party, you can do. You could come as Willy Wonka. Or Bertie Bassett. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. Our parties are free and easy.
They are.
You can come as you are. Everybody's accepted. And I know we bang on about it, but to sample a community where nobody judges you and everybody just wants to be your friend and just socialise, it's just so special.
Yeah.
It is amazing. And so, as I say, if you've never been to V2V, we are going to have to cap this. We've already got... The guest list was open about 30 odd hours ago.
Yeah.
And we're literally already up to 30 couples.
Wow.
I know. So literally yesterday we took 30 couples in the first day. And we do have to cap it. We have to be sensible.
Yes.
So...
you need to get your names on that list damn quick.
Absolutely. Send us a message on Fab Swingers. We are Naughty Couple, spelled NAUGHTYCP1. Send us a message. Obviously, it's a Saturday night at Liberty Elite, so it is couples and single ladies only, unfortunately. And if you're not on Fab Swingers, you can email us. Do you remember that old thing called email? We are Naughty Couple, spelled NAUGHTYCP1 at yahoo.com. Send us an email if you're a couple or a single lady who would like to come to the Vanilla to Vixen Sweet Treats party on Saturday the 14th of September at Liberty Elite it's near Lutterworth in Leicestershire.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
Super. So that kind of covers events. But I want to talk to you about something else, Mr. N.
Let's go into the main meat of the show.
So actually, this was before we did V2V. We went out for breakfast.
Yes, yeah, at our secret retreat place.
Our secret retreat place, which we're not telling anybody about because it's amazing.
We've got a secret hotel that's not so secret. We've also got a secret retreat place now where we have breakfast.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool.
Yeah. We met the most amazing lady.
Inspirational.
Very inspirational, the best word ever. And we were chatting away, hoping one day we'll be able to get her on the podcast.
That would be remarkable.
It would be. She has said maybe one day, but not just yet, which is fine. Totally get that. But she was telling us a story about a friend of hers. And I found that story incredibly inspirational.
Yeah. So this lady, it would be fair to say, is recently single again after being married.
Yes.
And yeah, to hear her story was very interesting and thought-provoking.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you think about it, what she did was actually almost quite a very simple step.
Very simple.
But had a huge impact, didn't it? And we were talking to her and asking her, about her confidence and everything else. So she's a single lady. She's stunning. Absolutely incredibly stunning.
Yep. Beautiful blonde, long blonde hair.
Yeah.
Legs that go on for miles and miles. As right said. Was that Right Said Fred?
I have no idea.
Right Said Fred sang that?
I just thought his shirt was too sexy for him.
No, legs that go on for miles and miles. It was song lyrics. Anyway, back to her. She was beautiful.
And she was telling us about this friend of hers who her marriage wasn't particularly brilliant. It wasn't in a good place and she was not feeling particularly sexy and everything else. I'm not going to go into too much details. It's not my story to tell. But what I want to tell you is what this lady did, which was so inspirational, was she decided that she was going to throw out all her underwear and go out and buy sexy underwear.
Yes.
And that's exactly what she did.
Was this after she kind of come out of a relationship, or do we know that? Or?
No, I think because this was a friend of hers, I think that is why she was still married.
Okay.
But interestingly enough, so she did this purely for herself, for her own self-esteem, to make herself feel sexy, because she felt she'd just got into a bit of a rut. And
she felt frumpy, I think that's the word described.
So she literally did this for herself, which is amazing. Husband wasn't particularly impressed with it because he wasn't happy that she wasn't wearing it for him. She was wearing it for herself.
So she told him that, this is for me, I'm doing this for me.
Yes, to help me feel sexy, help with my confidence and everything else.
But as a guy, obviously being in the lifestyle, and we've explored, I think we could say we've thoroughly explored the hot wife dynamic.
Yes.
Obviously my kink is seeing you as sexy as ever and seeing other guys, lust after you kind of thing. I couldn't think of any other words to say that, but so obviously I understand that, but you can obviously understand from the other point of view that a couple where the guy is or a girl, a guy or a girl is in a vanilla relationship, and then suddenly seeing your partner suddenly change wearing sexy lingerie, that could trigger alarm bells, because you can think, aye, what's happening here?
Yeah.
Obviously your mind would automatically think, could it be an affair, or, you could understand people reaching that conclusion.
Yeah, absolutely. You also have to understand that ladies of a certain age, me being included, when you're going through certain changes in your hormones and things like that, it's so easy to get stuck into a comfort.
A rut.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it a rut, but it made me think when we had this conversation with the beautiful lady, because she actually took her friend's advice and did exactly the same thing. She cleared out all of her underwear, went out and just bought herself some really lovely, sexy things from Ann Summers. And she said it was incredibly empowering.
Okay.
And how it made her feel. And all of a sudden, she'd gone from feeling this very sort of mundane person who was in comfy stuff and things like that, to all of a sudden she felt incredibly sexy.
And I suppose with that, always, as we say, becomes empowerment. You feel empowered, you feel like a sexual being again. You don't feel like mom, you don't feel like, the person living in that extremely vanilla life. You suddenly feel sexy. Yeah.
And it is too easy, and I'm guilty of this, where you go for comfort a lot of the time. Comfort isn't sexy.
And it's inspired you, hasn't it?
Massively inspired me. It's going to damage your credit card, Mr. N, because you are going to have to take me shopping, mate.
Luckily we've got vanilla2vixen.co.uk. luckily we've got undies on there.
But I just did think to myself, if as women sort of opened our drawers, some of us obviously, and just took a look at what we got in there, would that make you feel inspired? Because I know my drawer wouldn't.
Okay.
And I just think it was a huge, for such a simple thing to do, to have such a massive impact on somebody's life. But following on from that, it was quite interesting, because as we carried on the conversation, this lady was telling me that she's been told sometimes by a few people that they've been slightly intimidated by her.
Okay. I can understand that from the way she looks, because she does look stunning.
She is stunning. And I did say to her, because we've seen her at the club before.
She's got that Jerry Hall look about her.
Oh, yeah, spot on. You couldn't have described her any better, I don't think. She is. And I'm always in awe of these single ladies that come along to club nights, because I'm not sure I would have the confidence to do that.
Yeah.
And she was saying to me, she tends to stand at the bar, and it's like sometimes people don't approach her. They feel a little bit intimidated, and she's not that way at all. But I said to her, from an outsider's point of view, you're standing there looking absolutely stunning. You've come to this place on your own, and you're standing at the bar looking really confident and sexy. Without actually knowing it, that can be quite intimidating for people, even though she's the least intimidating person you could meet.
And this has inspired an addition to Liberty Elite.
Yes.
So what we're going to do at Liberty Elite, we sat and thought about this. There was also a couple at the V2V summer party who said you should have perhaps green wristbands for newcomers.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not so sure, because there's a flip side. And here's where, as I say, we always share everything on this podcast.
We do.
We live the life, and we share it with you, the listener, of what things are really like and decisions that we make and why we make them. And so the downside to, well, originally it was a newbie idea for a wristband. So you could wear it, and it's kind of like, we can't use green because the locker keys wristbands are green. Yes. So everybody will just look then like that. I was calling these the approachable wristbands.
Yes.
Not newbie ones, but approachable wristbands that couples and ladies could wear, that basically say, I'm looking for new friendships, looking to meet new people. Yeah. But you might be shy, so to suddenly go up to someone and go, "Hi, my name's William." that takes the incredible lot out of you, because nobody wants to face rejection.
No.
And, we've all got that fear of going up to someone. It doesn't matter, you can be the most confident person in the world, but to go up to someone in a strange place, that takes a lot of guts to do that.
It does.
And so we thought it would be, or as I say, we had a couple that mentioned this idea. And I think Mr. and Mrs. Horney were talking about this as well. We've had a few people over time say, why don't you have newbie wristbands? And I think Chardonnay has gone for the colour orange.
Ooh.
Because they're a bit different.
Yeah.
We've already got yellow, we've got red.
Yeah.
So being different things. The yellow ones, is it? Oh, you're going to test me now.
Oh gosh, I think the yellow ones are if you're interested in, if the ladies are interested in ladies.
Yeah, and the red ones, stop. Red light spells danger. I don't know. That's terrible.
I can't remember. That's awful. We'll find that one out.
Red ones means, is it? I'm not looking for single guy. I don't remember.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's to do with you're not interested in single guys.
Yeah. I like red light spells danger. I think that's better. We need to change the signage. Anyway.
But we thought about if the newbies want to, it's not compulsory.
Absolutely not.
It's only if you want to.
No, all the wristbands at Liberty Elite are optional.
Oh, exactly.
I would say the majority don't wear them, but some people I have seen do pick them up and wear them.
They do.
And I think an orange wristband is a really, really good idea. It's not a newbie wristband. It's a wristband that might just say, you can approach me.
Exactly.
Doesn't necessarily mean that you're shy.
Nope.
But it's just, I'm looking, looking for new friendships. I'm looking for it's something that you can wear that says, I've come to the club. I'm not with other people kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even as a couple, you could wear them.
Absolutely.
And say, we're looking for new friendships.
And another way that you can look at it is if you see other people wearing the orange wristband.
Yeah.
It's a kind of reminder that you're not on your own, that there are other people in the club that are wanting to make connections.
They're literally wearing something that says, I'm approachable.
Exactly.
So that will instill confidence in you that I can go up to them because they're looking for friends, they're looking for connections.
Exactly.
Absolutely does not mean that they want to jump into bed with anyone else.
No, not at all. That's not what they're for.
And I think this is what's really, really wonderful now and really coming across, certainly at Liberty Elite, is that people now feel confident, and thanks to the podcast, something that people can listen to and understand how it works inside the majority of clubs, that you can go up and talk to people without that thing of, oh God, they want to have sex with me.
Exactly. I mean, when we do Vegas and V2V parties, we play a little match game.
The match game.
Which we introduced to try and help, especially the newbies, to try and help them to kind of have those conversations.
It gives an excuse. It gives people an excuse to go up to other people. So at the summer party, we did ice creams. We did feast. We had all sorts. We had feast ice, a little picture, not real ones. Obviously, you've eaten them. That wouldn't work. Oh, sorry, can I have another 99 about mine? No, we did little photos of classic ice creams, which again is something that everybody remembers as a kid.
Funny feet.
And we did different generations. So we had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ice creams, which were a little bit past my time. I'll be honest. But I thought, oh God, I wish I'd had them. It's like I had this yearning to have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ice cream. But for me, I remembered Red Devils.
Yeah.
So I remember those little, like, it was like a little shape of a devil on the stick.
One that is evolved, as Mr. Horney would say, is I think nowadays they're called Nobblies.
Nobblies?
Yeah, well, back in the day they were called Kinky.
Yeah.
Weren't they? A Kinky ice cream. So
we did have Kinky. We did have the Kinky there. We had Feast, which in German, now I remember, I've told this story before, German is called Nutnacker.
That's it, yeah.
Nutnacker Feast.
We had Screwballs.
We had Screwballs.
We had Fabs.
Yeah, Fab, which of course legendary.
Your classic 99.
Yeah, classic.
But the idea is that you had to go and find the person that matched your picture.
Yeah.
And then come back to me.
Yeah, prize.
Get put in a draw for a prize.
So at our party, you do have that excuse to go up to people and just introduce yourself. Go, oh, have you got my nutnacker? Excuse me, are you bobbly? Are you kinky?
Yeah.
You've got that. But, for instance, at another club night, other club party, I should say, you've not got sometimes those games that we play.
No.
So I think it's a great idea. And as I say, Chardonnay's fully embraced it at Liberty Elite. And it's something that we're going to implement very shortly, is that we're going to have these orange wristbands that mean that you've got that freedom. I'd say just go up and introduce yourself, be polite, be nice, and just talk about the weather, talk about, introduce yourselves, go, have you been coming here often?
Do you come here often?
Why not? Yeah. Do you come to the sex club?
I think it's a great idea because we want to do something that helps and benefits everybody to have a really good time.
Yeah.
And so if we can implement things like that, it's perfect.
I also want to talk as well about the V2V party. One thing I do just want to mention is, obviously, everybody's biggest fear when they go to a club is bumping into someone you know. And we did have someone at the party that bumped into not one, was it not two, but three people that they knew.
Oh, bless.
And he just come up to me, he put my hand on my shoulder and he went, well, that's me fucked. And he just had a giggle about it. I think it was a couple of people he worked with. And
I took it all in his stride. And it's like, but they're there too.
And I said to him, how are you feeling about it? And he went, I don't give a shit. He said, I'm having a great time. He said, and they were having a good time. And that's the thing. It's a huge fear that you're going to bump into someone.
It is.
But it's utter proof that if ever it happens to you, they're there as well.
Exactly.
And they could be there just to dance. They could be there for the cake. If it's a sweet treats party. People go to clubs for all sorts of reasons. And that big fear, honestly, it's just a phobia, because if you do bump into someone it doesn't mean that, your life is over.
Not at all.
And Saturday was an absolute shining example of that.
Yeah, it was.
And I mean the thousands of people that we have parted with and seen at Liberty Elite. And there's quite a few people now that have bumped into people that they know. Yeah. Every single one, I always ask them, was it a positive experience? And they went, no, actually, we had a really good giggle about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody always says it's not who they expected to see there.
Yeah.
And still, they have that thing where it was fine. We just had a really good giggle about it. Oh, didn't know you were into this shenanigans. And so, yeah, that was just an interesting thing that happened at the party, and it was an experience, that obviously I got to just chat about. It was good fun.
It was. And bless him, he was still smiling and giggling.
He was living his best life.
He was having a whale of a time. So,
but yeah, going back to the panties.
Yes.
Because why not?
Why not? Exactly.
I think that's... So has that actually inspired you then? Are you going to do your bottom drawer? And
yeah, absolutely. Because who doesn't want to feel sexy?
No, we could do this on Twitter. You could put your old panties that you've thrown out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And actually show some of your new stuff that you're getting in?
Yeah, you better get that credit card out, mate.
Oh, my goodness me. Oh, God.
Just that it's for your benefit as well.
Well, and that's the actual serious point that you come onto that, because talking to the wonderful lady who may have looked like Jerry Hall, extremely sexy, model-looking lady, I think she did say something about, where some partners, and we mentioned it early on in the podcast, try to hide their partner away in life.
Yeah.
And obviously in certain negative instances, if somebody's feeling, it's usually feelings of if somebody feels inadequate or if someone feels intimidated, they will try and drag the other person down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
not in all cases, but in some cases, it's like a bully in a school playground. That bully is always, usually 9 times out of 10, they're miserable in some area of their life, probably a home life or whatever. And so they feel the need to pull other people down.
Yeah.
And that's the case. And that can be the case in a relationship, that if you've got somebody who is not feeling particularly brilliant about themselves and they're feeling inadequate, then they feel the need to pull their partner down.
Yeah.
And when obviously it turns negative and it can turn toxic. And then I suppose, like in this case of this lady where she suddenly becomes free and single, you suddenly get that breath of fresh air and a new lease of life. And you just think, no, I can transform. I can become this butterfly.
Yeah.
And stuff it. And you can reinvent yourself to a certain, and find yourself.
But haven't we said before that confidence can be a real attraction?
Confidence, let me tell you now, and Chardonnay will always say this on the phone to people, it's not the best looking guys that do the best at clubs.
Yeah.
It's not cocky, not arrogant. There's a very difference between cocky and arrogance and confidence. Generally, confident people are the ones that do best at clubs.
It's incredibly attractive.
Yeah, because if you go in there and you've got no fear and you're just there to have a good time, be yourself, and you're happy with yourself, and you've got that genuine confidence in yourself, you will be an incredibly magnetic person to other people.
Yeah.
Because other people will want to share in that. They will want to feed off of that confidence.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's a big thumbs up from me. I think it's a fantastic idea.
I do too. I mean, for something that it's pretty simple. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know obviously it's going to cost money, but I think it's an investment.
Yeah. Obviously, I know I do joke and say we have vanillatavixen.co.uk for sexy lingerie. But I know some of that is for kind of club wear.
Yes.
It's not general purpose underwear, kind of knickers and bra sets and things.
Yeah.
Obviously, every sale does support the podcast. But even if you go to somewhere like Shein, which is kind of probably the other end of the market.
Yeah.
Even you can buy some amazing stuff from places like Shein, and you can still make yourself feel really sexy for a minimum amount of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah,
it's a great idea.
I'm fully in support of that. I think that's a top tip from Mr. and Mrs. N. We're going into tip toppers.
Well,
top
in
tips.
fairness, I don't think we can take credit for that one. That's got to be the lovely lady we were able to have breakfast with. It was an amazing story, and I'm so glad that she shared it with us.
Absolutely, but I think it's inspired us for this whole show. And if people do try that, please write in, and email us. Tell us how you got on.
Yeah.
You might even feel brave once to come on the podcast and
yes.
And actually tell us what you've done, or it could be something else that's inspired you and completely changed you and made you feel like a vixen.
Yeah. We love a good vixen.
So please let us know. You can always write into us at naughtycouple, NAUGHTYCP1 @yahoo.com.
Yes.
And let us know if you've thrown all your undies out.
The big belly button warmers.
The belly button warmers.
The Bridget Joneses have gone.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how many people go, do you know what? I'm going to give that a go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Just before we go, I just wanted to mention, because we've had a lot of people that have requested copies of the book.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we didn't manage to get them in time to take them to the beach party.
You can always get the book from Amazon.
You can.
It's available exclusively on Amazon, but we do have a few copies that we have here, but they all sold out.
Yes.
Before the summer party, so we've got some more in stock.
We have, and we will be taking some to the Sweet Treats party.
Absolutely.
In September.
Yeah.
So if you are coming along and you want a copy of the book, we are selling some there. And if you're really, really that interested, we're happy to sign it for you.
You'll sign it. I'll write a big X.
Yeah.
You know? Didn't do too well at school. Never mind.
You've made up for it since then.
There we go. And yeah, I just think it's brilliant, you know, and it seems to be growing. And we can reveal right at the end of this episode, we have got a couple of really massive announcements to make.
Yes. So
hopefully we will be making them soon. And on that bombshell...
leave them wanting more.
Yeah. For next year, let's just say next year is going to be phenomenal.
Yes.
And V2V World is growing just at an incredible rate, and it's so exciting, things that are happening behind the scenes. And obviously we want to share all this with you. And,
yes, because if it wasn't for you guys, it really, really wouldn't be going in that direction.
You know, we always say that the guests and the team, the crew, the staff at Liberty Elite, that is, you know, V2V World. And you make it. Without you, we are nothing. We're just two buffoons talking shit into microphones. and it's you know, it's just the community that make this so special, and I'm so proud of the community that there is there. It's just amazing.
It is,
and that goes for the other parties and everything else as well. It's just sensational. And next year, I so want to tell you, but I can't.
Keep it in.
I've got to just keep it all in. But we're making a huge announcement for next year. It's going to be absolutely epic. It's going to make the summer party just look like a tiny, you know, Pluto planet right from a gazillion miles away. It's going to look tiny.
You need to calm down.
2025.
Oh,
it's coming, baby. And on that bombshell,
we shall say goodbye till next week.
See you next week, guys.
Take care.
This week, I am mostly stuck in a traffic jam on the A5.